ladies and gentlemen, we finished that segment. Now we're going to get into a segment. Yes, there's going to be drama, just to forewarn you. Some of you like it, some of you don't. Okay. So let's do it. I'm sure there's going to be people clipping this podcast from this moment on. So this is the moment. Start your clips. All right, here we go. So last night, coming off of the end of the Street Fighter 6 beta, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the excitement about competitive Street Fighter again for the first time in a very long time. Admittedly, I'm rusty. I'm a relic. I'm not good. I'm going to have to play my ass off to get anywhere even decent in Street Fighter 6. But I'm feeling it again. I'm feeling that sense of, collectively enjoyed something with everyone on the internet and it was fighting game related and this is really neat. Everyone online is going very positive about this game. So last night, as I'm getting ready to basically go to sleep, I'm reading tweets about Street Fighter 6 and people in the community. I'm just sifting through the Twitter feed about Street Fighter in general. And I see a few people posting up. Justin Wong posts up and he's like, man, now the Street Fighter 6 beta's over. Like, what other fighting games I don't even want to play anything else. I don't want to go back to any of those other games. And I hear him. Like, I responded to his tweet and I'm like, I hear you. Every Friday night I play Capcom Fighting Collection. That's the one other game I would want to play outside of Street Fighter 6. And there's like 10 people who play it on PS4. It's dead on Xbox. So there's no comp in a game that I like. And this game, which is the game that I really like right now, I can't play. It sucks. We're all just going to kind of be sitting around playing the waiting game. So I think there's a lot of us in that boat, And I see Alex Valle post up. And he says, man, was that like mind-blowingly good for a beta. And that's like the example of how a beta should be from now on. And I responded to that. And I was like, yeah, like we want to talk about a 180 from Street Fighter V's beta. That's the example of a 180 turn and having a beta, it worked so well, So it's just a positive experience, right? So as I'm reading through all these tweets and I'm responding to a few, there's a tweet that goes up by someone who I don't know who this is. I'm going to show you the tweet. And I don't know who this person is at all in the community. I didn't look at their profile. Like literally, I don't care. I'm just looking through Street Fighter posts, right? And I see this tweet from this guy and he posts up a picture of, I guess what is his home arcade at his house. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, it kind of reminds me of the days when Howard had something like that in his house, like over a decade ago. We used to go over there and play Super Turbo with each other. And I'm reminiscing to back in the day when I used to be part of the competitive fighting game community, right? And I used to actually have like aspirations that one day I would have something like this, okay? I thought about, I would like to have like networked cabinets, 2 sit-down cabinets that people could play against, and then maybe another cabinet we could play like versus games. This would be cool because this, at one point in my life, this was my life. This was my hobby. I've told you guys from the years when, I basically became a teenager, able to travel and do things for myself, all the way through the year, like when I turned like 27, 28, when I started on YouTube. All right. Street Fighter was my hobby and it was my outlet for like entertainment. This was I put everything into this right here, these cabinets. This was me traveling, playing in tournaments, putting money into the community, running tournaments. Near the end of my run, I was a tournament organizer as well as a competitive player at exactly the same time. Okay. So this was, a giant chunk of my life. This was something that I cared so much about. And I actually aspired to have something like this. Okay. And it's funny because you guys have asked me over the years, are you interested in getting back into the fighting game community? And are you interested in doing something like this? Because now they have the Arcade 1-Up setups. You don't even have to buy real arcade machines anymore. You could just buy an Arcade 1-Up setup and you can have your own arcade machine at home or whatever. And I've kind of told you guys over the years, no. And here's why. And I can't really elaborate on that in a tweet with limited characters or whatever. But essentially, here's my mentality, all right? Been there, done that. That was a giant portion of my life. It was a giant time investment during my youngest years when I was young. You know what I mean? And that was when I was healthy and everything and I was able to travel. And what did I spend it doing? Playing Street Fighter constantly. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying that I look back now, okay? And I look back at this time and I'm like, I have regrets. Because when I was younger, I had opportunity to do more things with my life than just play Street Fighter. I keep telling you guys, I still to this day, I beat myself up. Okay? Excuse me. I beat myself up about this. Okay? I say, man, I went to Vegas so many times and I never saw the Strip because I'm an idiot who just sat in a hotel ballroom playing Street Fighter or a hotel fucking room playing console Street Fighter. I didn't take advantage of all that youth and that time that I had to travel and enjoy things and be a tourist and take in culture. Instead, it was all about the game. And I guess some people can say that's respectable. I was so on my game during those years. But for me, it's a regret because I wish that I actually did more with my life during those years than just, oh, this is about competitive Street Fighter. You know what I'm saying? Can you imagine going to Vegas 3-4 times and never seeing the Strip because you're an idiot? Because I am. I admit today I'm a fucking moron for doing that, right? So here's the thing. Back when I was in competitive Street Fighter, which I retired from essentially in 2007, this was the dream. Something like this. Having something like this was like, that's what you aspire to. This is what you want, right? This is what you want. This is your end game. Hopefully one day you have a living, you have a job, and you can actually have your own game room, right? And then what ended up happening was over the years, my mindset changed. In 2007, I stopped caring about competitive Street Fighter. I started being a YouTuber, and my eyes were opened significantly to all the games that I had missed, right? In 2009, I was reinvigorated to be part of competitive Street Fighter again with Street Fighter 4. That lasted about a year, and then I kind of got out of it again. I was like, you know, even though I like covering fighting games for YouTube, I like doing it at a more casual pace. I'll play them online, but in 2011, once again, I officially retired and said, I'm not going to travel anymore. I'm just going to do variety content for my YouTube channel, and I'll cover a new fighting game if it comes out, but I have no desire to be part of this competitive FGC anymore. I just want to be a YouTuber now. Like, I enjoy this way more than all of the travel, the grind, and being part of this community, okay? And by the way, around that time, I also started seeing this community change. I started to see the FGC. It became less about the love of the game and more about getting internet clout, getting one up on someone else, getting internet popular, internet famous, making that bag, as they say. How can I turn my presence of being a Street Fighter player online into a way to make like money for myself and make a living and this, rather than, oh, you know, this is a way to basically, how can I say it? There's, you know, you can say that there were pro players of sports as well back in the day who did it for the love of the game. And then people argue that today the only reason that there's pro players is because they make money, right? You could argue that. Now, I mean, that's kind of what I saw, especially around the era of Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 5, when everything became you have to sign with a team, you have to have a million sponsorships. It became more about that than the actual love of the game. There were pro players out there who say they don't like it. I don't like Street Fighter 5, but I play it because, you know, it's a way to make money. It's ridiculous, right? But anyway, I digress. Over the years, I fell out of love with the Street Fighter community, and I decided to do my own thing on YouTube, and that's fine, right? So this tweet, first of all, I want to clarify just to show you this tweet. It's on my Twitter account. This is not me responding directly to this guy in any of kind of a manner. This is just something for me posting for my own followers on my own Twitter account. This is not intended for anyone else to take it any other way. This is me relaying to you guys who know me on my history. You know I've fallen out of love with competitive Street Fighter. You know that Street Fighter 6 was the first time I actually played Street Fighter in a bajillion years in any competitive capacity, right? You know all about my history. So all this is a reiteration of that. You know, I'm basically saying when I was in my youth, I aspired to have something like this game room. Now, here I am 40 years old. I have no aspirations whatsoever to have anything like that. And now I see a ton of people who aren't even necessarily like prominent big players in the competitive fighting community, just normal gamers are wanting to have cool arcade game rooms like this. Go figure how society has changed. Back in the day, this was the exception to the rule. This was like an oddity that you would have that. Someone would go to your house and see that and be like, what are you, a weirdo? Do you have a game room in your house? What are you doing? Today, it's cool. You post up about it on Twitter, right? Oh, wow, look at this. I have a game room at my house. This is neat. And like I said, it's not just people that are prominent top players. Everyone's doing it. And that's cool. You know, even got celebrities like I know AJ Styles is a pro wrestler. He absolutely loves arcade games. He has a whole arcade in his house. Is he known as a competitive gamer? No. But he loves it. It's his hobby, you know, outside of his job as being a pro wrestler. So now this has become a lot more prominent and a lot more mainstream. And all I'm doing is making an observation that when I was a kid, right, this was kind of something to aspire to if you were part of the FGC. If you had a room like this, you made it. Even if you're a top player or not, if you had a room like that, people would be jealous of you. Wow, you made it. Wow, this is cool. Because you made it to the top of the FGC, you can have your own game set up. You can practice at home instead of having to go to the arcades, right? So, there's no dig here. There's no insult whatsoever. Doesn't matter how you interpret it. That's not what it is. At face value, it's something for my own followers to digest. It's in context to things that I say and do on my own streams, right? That's all it is. Again, I don't know this guy from a hole in the wall. I literally know nothing about him. I didn't click on his profile. I didn't look at nothing. I just saw this post on Twitter and said, oh, that's kind of interesting. This guy has a really cool game room. And it's something that at one point in my life I wanted. Here I am 40 years old. It's the last thing I would want in my life. I wouldn't want a game cabinet in my house. You know what I mean? So that's all it is. It's an innocent observation and kind of a comparison of me as younger versus older. All right, Black Lady Walking, goodbye. You're out. And anyone else is going to say that it's a dig, you're out. Just leave now. Because you're here for an agenda, and I'm not going to put up with your bullshit. Okay? Okay, you too. Goodbye. Here it is, because here it is. Here's all the sneak dissing idiots. Okay? Here's one too. Here we go. Goodbye. And you too. And by the way, these are all the sneak dissing regulars that sit here, and they just sit here doing this constantly. They're gone, and they're not coming back. Don't even ask to come back. Because now, here's what I get to do. Okay? Thank God, right? Thank God that I can now look at this nonsense and get these idiots out of here, and we can have a good day without this bullshit, right? This is not a dig. You're an idiot if you think it is. Like, no, I'm going to be very transparent with you now, okay? If you think that's a dig, you're genuinely stupid. Like, you don't have a leg to stand on. You're a moron. I don't know the guy. I'm not taking a dig at him. It's an observation based on my own history, my own experience in life. It's even me talking about me today versus me when I was younger, right? It has nothing to do with that guy whatsoever. I could have taken a picture from anyone's home arcade. It had nothing to do with a dig at anyone. All right, no insult was intended. And it's in my own Twitter. I didn't go to his Twitter and respond in his own timeline. I did it on mine. If you think that's a dig, you're genuinely stupid and you have no place on my stream. And you're gone. I just banned 4 or 5 people who are regulars. No, they're regular sneak dissing idiots and they're out and they're not coming back. I'm happy about this. Okay. So now let's continue. All right. So, I think nothing of it, of course. Why would I think anything of it? I go to sleep and I wake up this morning and this is what I wake up to, of course. Of course, my timeline has to be full of disgusting insults and nasty shit, not just from this person, but a million others. So here it is. The guy insults me out of nowhere. I did not insult him. I didn't take a dig at him. I don't know who this person is, right? No idea. Let's insult this guy, right? Let's insult Phil because it's easy to do because it's the same thing. Now, here's a couple things I have to say about this. First of all right? It's not like this is the first time this has happened. It's not the last time this is going to happen. This is regular on the internet. People are toxic to me who I don't know. I don't know who this guy is. I didn't insult him. I'm not toxic to him at all. I know nothing at all about this guy. Let's insult Phil, right? But the thing that gets me about it, all right, is that the hilarious part about it is it's the same fucking meme again. It's not even like you could take a dig and be like, yeah, well, you sucked at Street Fighter 6. Yeah, I did. Like, I would be like, you got me. I was terrible this weekend at Street Fighter 6. It wasn't until my 6th session that it clicked and I started to understand game mechanics of Street Fighter 6 and shit like that, right? He literally takes a dig based on something from 2005 that's been factually disproven time and time and time again. And he rolls with this meme that never dies, even though it's false. It's a false narrative. So if you ask me nicely, DSP, I can turn the PS1 version of Super Turbo on my cabinets so you can reminisce on the last time you were ever relevant in this community, right? So it's an insult. Basically, he's saying you were only relevant in the broken PS1 version of Super Turbo. Okay. As if I haven't responded to this enough. All right? Allow this to be my formal response to every dim-witted person on the internet who wants to use this meme. Okay? You ready? This is my formal response. Okay? In the time that it took you to boot up PS1 Super Turbo, which, by the way, it's hilarious you have it. Why do you have it? I don't have it. I'm the one who apparently gets all the clout about this version of the game, and I don't have it, but you have it, okay? In the time that it took you to do this and boot this up and take a picture and post it on your Twitter to insult me for internet clout, you could have taken literally a fraction of that time to use your digits and go on the internet and look up the fact that it wasn't just that time that I placed in Super Turbo. That over the course of a 2 to 2.5 year period after that, I was one of the top-ranked Super Turbo players in every version of the game ever that was played in tournament. All right? PS1, every version of PS2, including Anniversary Edition, as well as the Capcom Classics Collection 2. Okay? Dreamcast versions that were run. Arcade versions that were run. I mean, hell, there's footage of me beating Seth Killian in the finals of EVO East on YouTube right now. Hell, you can look at tournament results and you can see in 2007, I won so many tournaments in Super Turbo during the EVO qualification season. I had like 7 qualification spots for EVO finals. They had to give other people my spots because I would have been entered into the finals like 5 times. I would have been playing myself. Okay? They had to give other people, lower ranking people, spots. Oh, by the way, it wasn't just me playing competitive in Super Turbo. It was also me being a tournament organizer. I ran tons of tournaments on the East Coast, including the biggest tournament on the East Coast Championships. It was me and Josh Wigfall teaming up to run it with Chris Cotty in New Jersey. We ran it, the biggest one. People absolutely loved the tournament. We got nothing but positive feedback. Okay? So when you like to use this meme, that the only time you were ever prominent was a broken version of PS1, instead of doing this, all right, and embarrassing yourself, do this. And actually looks at something on the fucking internet for 5 seconds. Because this is ridiculously embarrassing. Okay? It is. I'm not going to argue with you that I'm not prominent anymore. I'm not relevant anymore. I don't claim to be. When did I say I was relevant in the FGC? Right? Anytime that I say anything about the FGC, it's some fringe opinion from some wild old man. Right? No one listens to me. No one cares. I know that. I'm in my own lane, way the fuck over here away from you. All right? Understand that. And by the way, I want to be away from you. I don't want to be involved. Because here's the thing. This is the modern FGC. You guys ask me all the time, Phil, do you want to be part of the FGC again? Would you ever go back to competitive Street Fighter? Here is your answer. No. Disrespectful. Right? Incorrect. Not even willing to spend 5 seconds looking up anything on the internet to actually find out what they're talking about. Only in it for the clout and for the clicks, right? Because no one's going to correct this guy, right? No one's going to say, what are you talking about? DSP was actually very prominent for several years. He ran tournament. No one's going to say that. All they're going to say is, oh, he's a joke. Because this is what they do. You know what I'm saying? This is exactly what they do. This is the modern FGC. So what incentive would I have to try to get good again or, you know, anything? Oh, by the way, as stupid as it is, obviously if I ever played this guy in Super Turbo, I would wipe the fucking floor with him in any version. Doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It's the dumbest argument ever. Like, in the little time that you were pertinent. Yeah, but to this day, I'm the person who every week is playing old school Street Fighter. I played the fucking 30th anniversary collection once a week for 4 years, even though it sucked. I'm still playing the Capcom Fighting Collection to this day. I'm trying to keep it alive when no one else is playing it. I'm the one sticking up for old school Street Fighter. But go ahead, do your meme, get your clout clicks, you know, because it's all it is. Like, it's like, why would I want to be part of that community? This right here, this post is a prime example of everything wrong with the modern FGC. They live in their own bubble. They live in their fantasy world. They don't want to respect anything. They don't want to research anything. They just want to be in it for the memes and the clout. That's it. They're in it for the lulz. I'm not sorry. That's not what I'm about. It's never what I was about. You know what I'm saying? For me, it was about the love of the game. When I used to play competitive Street Fighter, the reason I did it is because I loved it. It was such a great, awesome competitive feeling. Standing toe-to-toe with people from all over the world, learning and absorbing when you played against them. And by the way, at the end of the day, with all of the shit-talking and all of the drama that would ever happen in the FGC, at the end of the day, after the match, you shake the hand and you walk away. And it's that simple. All right? These people aren't about that, man. These people are all about the instant dig, the instant clout. Oh, I got over. Look what I got over on Phil. Good for you. You beat up an innocent man who did nothing to you. I didn't dig on you. I like your arcade. I think it's cool. Really. I think you have a nice home system. One day, I hope a lot of people have the ability to have something like that, And you should be proud that you put together this and, however you did it. Like I said, when I was younger, I wanted something like that too. There's nothing wrong with that. I wasn't insulting you. So why did you insult me? Like, what kind of a person are you? It's fucked up. It really is fucked up to think. And then everyone responding, oh, he got it. He done a dig on DSP. It's like 4,000 retweets and shit. It's like, what is your problem? Like, do you not understand how dumb you all are? I guess not. And that's the modern FGC. So why the fuck would I want to be a part of you? Right? Like, seriously, why would I want anything to do? Why would I go anywhere near you? I'll stay home. I'll play the games online. I'll rage at the fucking dropped inputs and the lag and all the bullshit, and I'll suck at them. And I'll have fun, with my audience. And that's fine. If I don't have to be blatantly insulted for no fucking reason at all, right? Fuck it. I'll stay away. Right now, you can search on YouTube for, the FGC embarrasses itself again compilation. The FGC is cringeworthy compilation. And you see million view videos about how bad the FGC is. Congratulations. You're the poster child now. This is why. Because you act like an idiot. Someone who literally did nothing to you, let's take a stab at him for no good fucking reason. Congrats. You are now an embarrassment. Good for you. I don't know what else to say, I could sit here, we could have an e-dick measuring contest all fucking day. It doesn't matter if it matters. None of this matters at all. Why you even bother with it just because you think you're going to get some clout clicks, right? So, in conclusion, fuck you. Really, you're an asshole. That's all I have to say about it. Like, you're a dick. Yeah, I did nothing to you. You want to insult me? Go fuck yourself. Okay. So, let's move on. I have one news story to talk about today. All right? By the way, you can stop clipping the podcast now. That was like a 20-minute segment. You can stop clipping it now. It's done. Okay. Oh, we got one tip. One tip has come in today. Snow Carl, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I'm not even going to read that. I'm seriously not. Like, sometimes Snow Carl says dumb shit. But today, I'm not even kidding you, just to paraphrase, it's so dumb. He actually just said, I'm not even going to do the meme. It's so dumb. He says, oh, that comment towards you about that guy from the post you made about his home arcade, oh, that's disgusting and it should be taken seriously because people have taken their own lives because of things like this. What? What? What are you even talking about? I don't... Hold on a second. I just refunded Snow Carl his $1 tip. I did. I literally just did a live refund of it. There was no way I was keeping that tip with one of the dumbest messages I've literally ever read on the internet. Yeah, I'm gonna be bullied to suicide by a guy because he did a meme about me on Twitter. I refunded it. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Please do not send me dollar tips with the dumbest thing ever attached to them. That's incredibly dumb. That is so disrespectful to people online who have been bullied to the point of committing suicide that you would make a joke about it like that. You think it's fucking funny? It's not. And I'm completely upset with you right now, Snow Carl. I think you owe everyone an apology for acting like that. Seriously, that was kind of fucked up. I can't believe you even said it. Like, I'm shocked that you even said it. You think that that's funny to joke about that? No. Joking about people who are bullied on the internet and they commit suicide and comparing that to me being bullied by some guy in the FGC I don't know. And you think, it's not even funny at all. Like, that's such asshole-ish, dude. All right? So don't ever do that ever again. Okay. So no contributions because I refunded that one because there was absolutely no way I was accepting that. Okay?